This game is something special, so sit back and prepare to be royally entertained. This is the traditional Australia Day game between the Northern Territory Reps side, and this year the guests are the reigning AFL premiers, Essendon. Before we get to the main game, though, a quick look at the match between the Tiwi Islands and Katherine. Katherine have waited a long time to get a crack at the Islanders, and they made the most of it, winning 14-12-96 to 11-9-75. Some really good young talent on display for both sides. Before turning to the teams for our main game, a word about the umpires. The new 3-umpire system is being trialled. The way it works is each umpire has a zone, either a goal area or the centre of the ground, and they take control when the ball comes into their area. Should play take them out of position, the umpires then simply switch zones. But now to the teams for the main game. 2 Territorians are lining up for Essendon. It hardly seems fair. Michael Long, the Norm Smith medalist, and Lachlan Ross, the talented Alice Springs youngster. The Territory side has a real look of youth about it as well. The likes of Russell Jeffrey and Michael Athanasiou are now the real veterans of the side. The coin was tossed by ABC Television's live and sweaty hostess Al McFeast. We pick up play at the start of the first quarter.
And there's the bounce for the fourth clash between these two sides. Morris got the first tap and Marty Christensen the first kick for the Ntfl. And already they're into attack, having won the toss, and they're kicking to the McMillans Road end. A bit of heavy work there from the Bombers' defence. And eventually they found the magician himself and the captain, Michael Long. Ian, any positional surprises?
Lining up pretty well as people expected, I think, Kevin. Djukowicz at centre half forward, Taylor at full forward. Morris in the ruck and Mark West on the ball. Christensen also on the ball.
Essendon now into attack, is shoved from behind by the Northern Territory player. When unnoticed, Russell Jeffrey, the captain of the Ntfl side, bursts out of defence, puts the ball in towards the centre where it was almost taken by Collard. Pack of players there for Essendon. Firstly it was Wanganeen, but now they've lost possession. The quick hand pass along the ground by Collard. He soccers, he goes towards the pocket. Djukowicz just lost his footing there for a while. Can he recover? He's got the ball, he spins out of the pack, but the ball just wobbles off the right-hand side of his boot. Willie Rioli's there for the Ntfl. Put your body in, says the crowd. Didn't happen. Chance for the NT. Magnificent work there by Adrian McAdam, but just couldn't get the kick away. Wanganeen, and they're away out of defence. Spoiled by Peter Reid. Didn't know that Morris was there for him. Now a chance for Essendon if they can get the hand pass away, and they do. It's through the agency of Calthorpe. He was tackled, holding the ball, says the umpire. Noel Judkins from Essendon. Your players lining up as expected?
Well, there's a bit of a surprise. Shoots has pulled a young kid called Robert Stevens, our #1 draft pick. He's a 17-year-old boy playing on Brett Djukowicz at centre-half back. Stakes
has the ball, gets the kick away, but it too wobbles under pressure. Djukowicz waited behind for the error. That won't happen when you're playing Essendon, and as a result, no possession for him. Now a chance, but a tackle by the Ntfl. The ball goes loose, and holding the ball, says the umpire, and they're red hot on that.
Yeah, they are. They're actually the NT side tackling very quickly, and umpires giving them the benefit of those quick tackles.
Taylor's kick for the Ntfl towards Daryl Taylor. Has the mark been paid? It has.
The game started at a great pace, Kevin. Really going strong on the NT, looking really well, finding a little bit of space there for Taylor to lead into, and if they can keep this up, they're certainly working into the breeze. Certainly going to make it hard for Essendon early on.
Now Taylor, real confidence player. If he can kick this first goal, it would make a real big difference for him. He will line up probably from around about 45 metres. The ball will fade from left to right. You'll find that kicking to this end. There it goes. It will start to fade, but it doesn't fade enough, and it's through for a behind. But I think he had the right idea.
Well, he did. He was looking for the ball to come across, and it probably didn't move as much as it usually does.
Now, Noel, a bit of a huddle here as your defenders kick out from the goal square. They'll split from that.
Yeah, well, Anthony hasn't played fullback for a while, and with Dustin Fletcher out, Anthony's just trying to find his feet, but he's usually a beautiful kick.
There goes Danaher's kick, and it does find plenty of distance. Morris from behind maybe should have gone the punch. He went for the mark and it tumbled out. As a result, the ball is picked up by Calthorpe. He gets it away, takes it back. He lines up a shot from 55. How's that for a kick? That's straight through the middle, and a magnificent goal to Calthorpe.
David Calthorpe was a much improved player. Played in the 1992 Cup, as a lot of these boys did. And David was just struggling a couple of years ago, but he's put a lot of work in with David Wooden, our development coach, and he's a much improved boy.
Yeah, we know about those.
He took that first, twice, third time, and really got involved in the play right from the halfback flank. That will be a danger, Ian Smith, for the Ntfl. Failure to punch, and then an attack was launched from half back.
That's true, and gee, Calthorpe, some great football there. He worked so far down the ground.
Morris goes up in ruck against Hills. Chance for the NT to get possession here. Again, they don't. Good pressure by Essendon. Ball just fumbles out now. Again, it's that man, Calthorpe. He goes away again from 55. And a magnificent mark there taken for the Ntfl by David Parfitt. He goes on with it and gives it to Peter Reid. Room is made for him by Chisholm, and the kick comes out and is marked delightfully by, well, it was Wall, I thought, but it might be Armat. Armat's kick to Willie Rioli. Punched. Christensen onto the ball. The pass called out. Taylor called out Djukovic when he had the absolute drop on it, and the Ntfl plays a penalty.
Well, it was a little bit unfortunate then. Obviously, Duker and Taylor played together, and he heard Taylor's voice, left the ball, but probably made the wrong decision.
Bit of indecisiveness, maybe nerves from the Ntfl perhaps this afternoon. Michael Long. Beautiful left foot kick, and does find, yes, he does find his teammate in Tony Delaney. In towards centre half forward he goes. Punch from Mark West, the Darwin player. Soccer off the ground by Chisholm. Now a chance for Essendon to butter up through Manton. Drops the ball. The crowd says play on, says the umpire. And Michael Long, he holds the ball for an age. Christensen gets the kick away. That's his third for the quarter. The ball is punched. Who will recover first here? Chance again for the NT. A long hand pass. That was from Wall to Rioli over the top. Away they go through Collard. Collard over the top. The chance for Robbie Armat. The shot to go. And the youngster says, come that one.
Well, there was some excellent play there by the NT. Particularly, I thought Willie Rioli. He was under a lot of pressure. The ball was put up high to him, and Willie judged the ball perfectly. Off-balanced the player behind him and just put the ball, a weird sort of a handball, but an effective handball to the player coming on. I think we see it here. Held the ball back, was able to get the ball to Collard coming through, and a series of nice handballs. And Robbie Armat from the wing finished the ball off very well.
What a great start.
But I was very, very impressed with the way the back line worked the ball out with Peter Reid and David Parfitt then, Kevin. It's a nice long kick out of the back line by Reid.
Ryan O'Connor in ruck for Essendon, the big fella up against Morris. Great start for the youngster Robbie Armat. There's the tap. Christensen is in there. Christensen is hustling with Long. Former teammates of the past, these two. Djukovic uses his body. Hand pass to West. He uses his strength. He offloads to Chris Wall. Oh, the pass has been dropped. The umpire, though, has found an infringement further back, and the ball will come back to towards the centre of the ground. The kick will be taken by the big fella in Brett Djukovic. Will he put it in long, or will he look for position? He goes for McAdam. Couldn't take the mark. Long is there. Hand pass is delightful and accurate to Doolan. And Doolan, the Essendon recruit, up towards the wing. Beautiful mark taken by Lachlan Ross, ex-Ntfl player. Russell Jeffrey backs himself, takes the mark and speeds off, and the mark has been taken in the centre of the ground by Chris Wall. He started well in this game. There goes the mark. Two Essendon players went up, but the ball came down, and Pryor, I think it was, who ended up with the disposal. Spinning out of the pack and racing off there. Noel Judkins, who took that. Mercury. Oh, his pass just missed. In fact, slipping there, unfortunately, was Dale Kickett. And Gordon Morris, under pressure, can't afford to make an error, and goes for the safety of the boundary line. Your forward set up, Noel, you've got Kickett down there.
Well, we've got a few new players on the forward line. Glenn Manton at centre half forwards always played on the back line the last couple of years. And with Kickett and Cummings and Lachlan Ross, we've got a fairly new forward line.
Well, the umpire's seen an infringement here, the tackle and the free kick given away by Mark West, in fact. And we'll go to the Essendon player. I'll pick him up in a minute.
I think it is. Yep. It's been right into play, actually, so far. David Calthorpe playing an excellent game.
It's been a real headache for the Ntfl so far. Now he's already kicked one goal.
He's a very hard worker, David Calthorpe.
So his shot from around about 45 metres when he lets it go, maybe 40. Starts it right, a little bit of left in it, and straight through for Calthorpe's second goal. And Essendon second, and Ian Smith, a pretty pacey start to this game.
Well, it is. I mean, there's a very high standard of football, particularly in respect to the effort that players are putting in. You know, a typically hot Darwin day, a 2-goal breeze, probably favouring the Essendon end of the ground. But the sides have started at a great pace, and we can only hope that it'll keep up at this pace.
Yes, Essendon taking advantage of every opportunity that they've been given so far. The NT have probably muffed a couple. We'll put that one down the nerves. The margin is 5 points in favour of Essendon. We're 10 minutes into the first quarter, and it's been a typically ferocious start to these Australia Day weekend games. Up they go again in ruck. Ryan O'Connor, the ball comes down. The umpire has said an infringement, and it will go to O'Connor.
He's a big boy.
Also, now he may slow down as the afternoon goes on in these conditions.
He's a pretty hard worker, Ryan.
O'Connor's kick towards centre half forward. A huge pack develops. Calthorpe was in there. Still in there is Calthorpe. Eventually gets the ball away. Chris Wall comes out with a hand pass, but that's tapped on. Opportunity here for Essendon through Scott Cummings, but the kick is high, wide and handsome and out of bounds on the full. The packs are definitely thicker here as they form, Ian, compared to Ntfl standard of football.
I think the players able to make ground a little bit quicker at this level.
Athanasia, let's go with the big kick. Representative veteran for the Northern Territory. A chance for West, I think it was. He gets his kick away. It's down the wing. No one able to get to it. Rioli is there, giving support. Hand pass came out there towards Dukowicz. He couldn't make the best of that, but Essendon certainly can. The hand pass was enormous towards Wanganeen. He lines it up straight down towards centre half forward, and not effective though, and good pressure by the Northern Territory player there. And the Territory looking reasonably dangerous out on the wings, but Essendon's attack coming right down the centre.
Yeah, well, I'm quite surprised young Stevenson's done so well. It was a beautiful handball, as you called it. We're changing our ruck rovers on a half-back flank, Pryor and Mark McCurry, and that's given us a bit of a run out there because they've got good hands of both boys.
Free kick has been seen and will be taken by the Ntfl. They go out wide to Morris. The left footer lets it go. He's got no one out there though, so he went towards the boundary line. Now Taylor should shepherd there for Dukowicz, but he just couldn't get there in time, and the ball goes out of bounds in front of the members area of the grandstand here at Football Park Marara. 5 points to margin in favour of Essendon. West decided to go up and have a punch for the ball. Didn't leave anybody down on the ground. Now a chance for the Northern Territory through Andrew McLeod, but bang, straight into the hands of the Essendon defence. And again, they launch an attack. Mercury straight down. Russell Jeffrey, hand pass to Chisholm, a bit of a tap. Gee whiz, they can't afford a mistake there. Christensen, he's played well. Kick from Russell Jeffrey. Doolan is there for Essendon. He's being pressured by Adrian Collard for the NT, who's sockets. But there for the Bombers, 25. Who's that? Not on your list here.
Danny Morgan.
Danny Morgan in 25, and away goes Essendon. Ball marked out there by Michael Pryor. Gavin Wanganeen, the Brownlow medalist, he's proving a real headache for the Territory. Kicks the ball down towards and over the heads of the half forwards. Reid, oh gee whiz, plenty of support though from Michael Athanasia. His hand pass out towards his teammate at Andrew McLeod. McLeod switches the players, could be dangerous. Chisholm heard him coming, I think. He applies the shepherd, allowing Adrian McAdam to do something. McAdam's kick is reasonably long, but marked there, and again Calthorpe takes off with the ball. Gee, he's everywhere. Hand pass, Calthorpe, no problems, two places at once, that was easy, and kicks the behind. There was the play of the game at the
That's McCurry, 18. He's changed his number from 2 to 18. It's a bit confusing, but he's played very well on the back flank.
Already, Kevin, I feel that the half-forward line of the Ntfl side is taking a little bit of flogging. I think the back line is working very well. Players like Jeffries, Parfitt, Peter Reid getting the ball out. But once they get the ball to the half-forward line, it's Collard, Duker and Taylor on the other side that have got to work harder. And also players like Wanganeen are running the ball out of the back line without being contested. Players like Willie Rioli have got to chase more.
James Hird had a touch there, but not effective. And now a chance for Adrian McAdam. He got the hand pass from Willie Rioli. His pass is out there and does find a teammate. Now Collard comes onto the ball. The North Darwin player gets a hand pass away. Christensen would need to be kicked to be quick. He got the kick away eventually, and the ball goes out of the boundary line in front of Chris Wall for the Northern Territory.
Actually, both forward lines are finding it difficult at the moment. They all look a bit new.
Yes, Northern Territory now being forced to sort of go down that wing because their first couple of attempts through the half-forward line just not working for them. Chance for Collard to apply some pressure, didn't work for him. And Essendon through Michael Long. Switched the play, Wanganeen dropped the mark. Has no trouble in the end picking out a teammate to kick to, and lands on the arms of Lachlan Ross. Ross has a bounce, was nearly caught by Taylor. Back to Wanganeen, who backs up so brilliantly for a backman. Up went O'Connor, and he eventually takes the mark, the big fellow. Looks ahead of him and sees what he's got. There's the lead. Morris tries to get in front of it. Couldn't just do the finishing off work. And Scott Cummings hand passes back to Hurd, and that's through for the third goal to Essendon.
Well, some desperate efforts by the back line, but unfortunately the loose man was set up. I mean, Russell Jeffries then left his own man to put pressure on the player with the ball. All went over his head, and the player shot almost an uncontested goal. But probably the problem's coming from down the ground. I mean, again, Essendon were able to work the ball out fairly easily out of their own back line, be able to set up play down the ground, putting too much pressure on the Ntfl back line at this stage.
Now, Essendon do have the advantage of a breeze. Noel Judkins, you haven't been here before, I guess, to this ground. It's probably worth about 2 goals, but you'd be happy with the start of Essendon?
Yeah, we haven't played here before. I've seen a lot of football here myself, but we haven't played here. But I think this ground will be better than Gardens for us. It just suits us a little bit better, I think.
Marty Christensen in the play again, got the hand pass out, but it was intercepted, and away goes Ben Doolan's hand pass. Wanganeen again, gee, he's had about 8 or 9 possessions, but that's been marked and beautifully so by Stephen Stakes. Stakes and Rioli under the hammer. West in there applying a bit of pressure. He's going to lift his game a little bit, I think. Stakes out to Mark West. Will he go long? He puts it up for Taylor. He can't take the mark. Anybody in there for the crumbs? They eventually come out. Wall's hand pass, Adrian McAdam. He'll try and use his skills here, McAdam. Lines up the shot for goal. How does it go? And it'll drift left to right, and eventually will go out of bounds on the full.
A little bit of fumbling in the game at the moment. A couple of our guys are finding it hard to pick up the ball cleanly.
So Essendon player, he's having a few deep breaths there too, I notice, the Essendon player, and hesitating a little bit too, Mark McCurry. Eventually his kick comes out, punched from behind by the Territory players, but they're not picking up those crumbs very well, and out of defence comes the Territory. Big thump attempt there from Athanasia. Oh, here's danger for the Territory as Essendon again launches an attack. The lead, and a very good mark taken there by Scott Cummings, and he'll have a shot from directly in front.
There's the kicker.
So a chance just a few moments ago, it was the Ntfl having a shot for goal, but the turnover very, very quick here, and not a bad performance. Comes Cummings. Kick looks a little bit offline, and the Ntfl's probably just a little bit off there. A bit lucky to get off.
Scott Cummings played up here in the 1991 Teal Cup for Western Australia and kicked 6 goals the first day against Victoria.
Actually, I recall that game. That was a terrific game of football. But that one a bit of a let-off for the Ntfl. Out goes the kick from Russell Jeffrey, the Territory's fullback. The big fly from Chisholm, couldn't take it. Nearly a free kick, I guess, could have been given away. Hills is in there for Essendon. His hand pass comes out, and again they're into attack. The long raking kicks. Russell Jeffrey goes up and takes the mark. Rock solid in defence. Offloads the hand pass. Willie Rioli. They switch the play. West gets there in time, and well, they've gained about 6 metres.
Very risky.
Yeah. Tell you what, I think Sheedy's woken up to the John Taylor style of play by now. Christensen just couldn't get the hand pass away in time. And the ball will be thrown in just in the shadows of the grandstand in the half-forward region for Essendon. They go. Well, Rioli nearly walked in and took it. Chance though for Essendon. Kickett's hand pass. Out comes a longer one to not to Cowthorpe, sorry, to McCurry. Ball comes out now to Cowthorpe. He can't get his kick in, and away that goes the Ntfl through McLeod. Over the top to Mark West. He has one bounce, could nearly have a second. Instead, he tries to go for his former teammate in Darryl Taylor. He couldn't take the mark. Can they get the hand pass out? They do. Wall gets the hand pass back to Collard. Got rid of the ball. Collard lines up the shot for goal from 45. How's it going? The umpire says that's 3 for a goal.
Certainly a well-needed goal from the Ntfl then, because Essendon really starting to get on top. I just felt that the vigour that was in the Ntfl game earlier on, we see Collard here, he breaks a tackle, and a nice kick from around about 50 to 55 metres out. Judged the wind beautifully there. The ball looked like it was going to go through the poise, but the wind brought it back. But I felt that NTFL was starting to break the Essendon side was starting to break the NTFL tackles a little bit too easy in the last few minutes, particularly across the centre to their own half-forward line. They were getting too many opportunities at easy goals.
Like Connor and Morris up there again doing the ruck work. Again, West goes in. He's now starting to create. Jukowicz, was he going to have a shot? No, he wasn't. He decided to pass off towards Collard. Collard's got the ball again. Can he repeat the dace? No, he can't. It's 3 for a behind. Collard starting to fire.
Well, a good bit of clean possession out of the centre then, Kevin, and you know, the NTFL always looks best when it gets clean position like that and can move the ball on quickly.
Huge kick out from Danaher, nearly landed on Rioli's head as it went out there, but he made enormous distance. The NTFL bottles it up. We're right on the edge of time on in the first quarter, and the margin here is only 7 points. Here's a chance for Essendon to start something though if they can get the hand pass. Rioli intercepted it, gets it off, and a big chance for the NTFL if they can get another hand pass away. Christensen, he gets the possession, he puts it in towards Taylor, who marks.
We see an excellent mark by Darryl Taylor then, finding a bit of space, moving into space, and a great pass. Who was the player? Was it Christensen? And down the ground.
Yep. Well, this is a big kick for the NTFL as Taylor lines up this one. There it goes from about 45. Will it come back a little bit? I don't think it has. He has missed again, and that's offline. The scoreboard had prejudged that and already put up the goal. The crowd got a little bit confused there for a while, but they've now put it back to only 2 goals to the NT.
Darryl Taylor probably a little bit disappointed, Kevin. He's had 2 set shots, and each of them well within his range, and he's used to this ground, and both those I would have suspected he would have thought should have been goals.
Danaher's pass, a delightful pass and well marked. Away goes Kickett's delivery and taken on the wing, the big ruckman. He lets go with a good long kick, O'Connor, up towards centre half forward. A lot of pushing and shoving in that pack. The possession eventually comes to Essendon. They can't get the ball away though. Good defence by the NT. They're starting to work a bit harder now. Morris, the hand pass out, comes through his teammate in Chris Wall. Wall in towards West, who decided to thump it on. Mercuri's in there for Essendon. The hand pass comes out towards Kickett. His pass. Look at this, nearly got there in time, but the ball may find the boundary line first. And it doesn't take much for this ball to turn around these days, pace of football, Noel.
It's the crumming's a little bit poor at the moment. We're trying to crumb in front of packs and we're just fumbling a little bit.
It's a throw in. Morris got right into the back of the Essendon big fella there in Scott Cummings, twice in fact, and gave away an obvious free kick. And right into time on, when the margin is just 6 points and Essendon have the breeze, this could be a costly free kick to give away. So Cummings will kick from right on 50. He'll have no problems with the distance, I imagine.
No, it's a strong kick. He went to went from centre half forward to full forward for Swan Districts last year after round 3 and kicked 86 goals for Swan Districts.
Well, we'll see the kick here. Let's it go. He starts at left. Will it swing? It doesn't. Hits the post, and the crowd gives a real groan of relief as I think most of them here barracking for the local side, pretty happy with that result. 2.5 minutes into time on. The margin 7 points now. Russell Jeffrey, terrible error. Just kicked the ball up. It's got to go 2 metres under the rules these days, and it didn't even go half of that. And now it's back in the teeth of goal for a bounce up for Essendon. Huge pack develops, and Essendon will use their body strength here, no doubt, to try and create something. There goes the bounce. Will Morris try and thump it through the goals? He tried, he wasn't successful though. Parfitt's in there playing basketball with it. Out of the pack comes Michael Long, chuck it away, and there's a magnificent goal.
Ever the opportunist.
A little bit of indecision there too, I thought, by the backline players who have been going very well for the NTFL side so far. But I thought perhaps that David Parfitt needed a little bit more support around him when he had that ball on the ground. And we had players waiting out rather than going in. Essendon players were prepared to get in and get the ball. Simple as that.
It's a big tactic of Essendon to keep the ball on the forward line. It was a very good play by Michael Simons, number 12, to hold it in the area.
Well, it worked, and the margin now moves out to 13 points. Not too long left in this quarter. The NT will be hoping for a quick reply. Essendon hoping to extend their margin in what's been a pretty good first quarter of football. West got the hand pass away to Wall. Wall gets his kick away. Collard is looking the other direction, but he still gets a hand on it. The ball comes out. Oh, big chance here for Rioli. But as he looked up to the goals, the umpire said that he'd seen a free kick and a 50-metre penalty, I think, or not. No, it hasn't been paid. Essendon hesitation as I think the player saw that his teammate Hills pretty well covered in that move. High and huge kick. Russell Jeffrey made his way to the front of the pack, but now a chance for Essendon. They get the kick away through Manton. Punch out of the hands of Hurd. Athanasia. What's the umpire done here? He's brought it up. The free kick, I think, will go to the NTFL.
It was around the neck.
Around the neck?
Yeah.
Top decision too, even though I didn't see it. So the NTFL will be able to relieve the pressure a little bit here. You really get the impression, though, this side is going to be very, very hard to beat, Essendon. They really do look the goods. So away they goes the defence of the NT3, Peter Reid. Puts it up. Morris is there in the race. Has he got the pace? Has he got the support from his teammate? Morris got rid of the ball, then got tackled. Throw, undetected by the umpire. That was experienced by Essendon there, I think. He knew he was on the blind side. Now there's the siren. Will he take the kick, Delaney? He goes for the shot now. Just puts it up, trying to catch defenders unawares. And we see now that the margin at quarter time, 13 points in a breeze, which is probably worth a couple of goals to Essendon.
Back to the main game in a moment, but just recapping scores from those earlier games. The NTFA finally recorded a win after 3 outs. They defeated the Teal Cup squad 15-6-96 to 4-9-33. Bruno Long was amongst the very useful players going round for the NTFA. And repeating that Catherine Tiwi Island score, Catherine 14-12-96 to the Tiwi Islands 11-9-75. Well, in the second and third quarters, the two sides really went at it hammer and tongs. We'll have a quick look at the third quarter and then we'll pick it up in the final term.
Should go long and have a shot because the way the breeze goes left to right at that particular end of the ground, this is about as good a shot at goal he's going to have. And distance really shouldn't problem the full forward because he's capable. There goes the kick. He puts it up maybe a little bit too high. The accuracy was okay. Djukowicz went right up, picked up, and the snap by. Whoa, that's gone through for a goal. Oh, what a great start to the quarter.
He certainly filled everyone there, Chris Wall. He took the ball well off the pack and turned onto his left foot, and I think the defenders expected the ball, if anything, to go high, but it wouldn't have gone through more than about a metre high. It must have just scraped through between the point post and one of the Essendon opponents there. So, but yeah, it's the sort of start that the NT need. They can't rely on coming home with the breeze. Essendon outscored the NT against the breeze in the second quarter, so they've really got to go hard now, the NT.
Up goes Jackson and gets the tap. West is there trying to get the kick away. Willie Rioli, he was dispossessed, and away goes Mercury. Left foot kick. They're into attack. It's one-on-one. Jeffrey, he got the first touch to it. Crumbs picked up by Chisholm and his sockers. Out there is Rioli. He goes over the top for Turner. Oh, Turner ducked out of that. Now he gets the ball back. The hand pass away to Christensen. Picked up instead by Rioli. And the mark taken by Waterhouse. Waterhouse from centre wing puts the ball back into attack. Taylor's in there, Danaher in attendance. Taylor nearly finished that. Picked up by Wall again. Ducks out of the tackle. Gets a hand pass off. It's Adrian McAdam from 35. Offline for a behind. Would have been a big goal.
Well, it would have been, and it's good to see Chris Wall working well off the, crumbing the ball well around Taylor, and that's what they needed earlier in the game. They needed a couple of players on the ground prepared to pick the ball up and work the ball forward off Taylor. 35 points the margin, and we've had it all at three-quarter time. There have been Mexican waves and streakers, but the NT want to get on with the football. Young Robbie Armatt, let's go with the kick. It drops out of the hands. The socket comes off by Taylor, and the hand pass is through for a behind, and the margin is now down to 34. Conditions fairly cool now with the sun going behind the clouds. That would suit, well, all the players, I think, because it's been a pretty torrid event here this afternoon. Essendon in the third quarter just getting away from the Northern Territory.
Up go the high flyers. Chance for Jackson. Going to get the hand pass off to Robbie Armatt. He does. The youngster just turns inboard, puts the kick up. Taylor was held. Nothing paid there. Yes, it is. Daryl Taylor will get the free kick. No advantage paid.
Well, the umpire's been consistent with that. He hasn't paid advantage all day, so...
See it here. I don't know if there's a lot in that, but... There you go. Anyway, Taylor will have the shot for goal, and it really is one that they must get if they're going to launch anything like a 4 or 5 goal burst and turn this one into a nail biter. Daryl Taylor, well back from his mark, will kick, well, I guess it's up to him whether he goes from 30 or 40. It goes from about 35. There goes the kick. The crowd behind the goals like it. So does the goal umpire. That is a goal to Daryl Taylor, and his third for the game.
Certainly a well-netted goal by the NT, and they've made a number of changes this quarter. The Andy Viola and Toby Jackson are both on in the centre, and I think that's probably where they realise they've got to get something. Losing the ball fairly badly out of the centre in the second and third quarters, and perhaps those changes can spur the side on a little bit.
Adrian McAdam, I think he's on a wing.
Clive Waterhouse at centre half forward by the looks of it.
So Jackson and O'Connor to do the ruck work. Bounce favoured O'Connor. Jackson got something on it. Waterhouse a strange soccer. It comes out towards Turner. His hand passes over the top towards Robbie Armatt. His third possession in about a minute and a half. Turner's chip pass finds the boundary line too strongly and goes out of bounds on the full. And Gavin Wanganeen, the Brownlow medalist for 1993 in the AFL, will take the kick. Morris Rioli just looking at proceedings. Morris, of course, coach of the Aboriginal All-Stars side, playing here on February the 12th against Collingwood. Essendon just quietening things down here a little bit. Sticking to the outer side wing. Hurd goes up. Good strong mark by the looks of it to James Hurd.
Been very quiet today, Hurdy.
Well, he spins away now. Gets away from Chisholm. Did that with ease. Great skills. And the big fly almost taken. No mark paid. It was probably a bit tough. Good tackle applied by Viola. That's what they want from him. Up towards Waterhouse. He was just moved out of that, well, unfairly, says the umpire, and the kick will come back to Clive Waterhouse, the St Mary's recruit. There he goes. He puts it up real high towards centre half forward. Taylor's got the front position. Collard, can he get the crumbs? He has a shot for goal. That is a magnificent shot by Collard. Through for a sausage roll.
Something the NT's been lacking was the crumbing around the packs in the forward line, and Collard an expert at that, and I think once he got the ball, the goal was almost assured. He likes the ball running, and the sort of player that can hook the ball fairly accurately around the corners.
Well, we'll see it here. He showed good pace. Got onto it, and the kick was a terrific one. So the margin is back to 22. A couple of quick goals here would really set things alight. The crowd, I think, would get right on top of it. Difference just being made by a couple of those changes that coach John Taylor has pulled. Andy Viola and Turner getting into a game. There's Turner. Good kick by him. Andy Crummer's down there this time. The soccer comes out towards the boundary line where it goes over in front of Willie Rioli, around about 35 metres from the scoring region for the NT.
Stevie Turner's certainly done something. The third quarter, I thought he played very well. And this quarter, he's dashing through and driving the ball long, which is exactly what we want.
There's the throw in. Taylor will do the ruck work, comes down, and the ball picked up. The hand pass not effective. Andy Viola just can't keep his feet. Graham Taylor went in there, couldn't keep the ball. Soccer just up in the air anywhere. Adrian McAdam is there for the Northern Territory. Dispossessed the Essendon player Ian Hills, and the boundary umpire says that's holding the ball, and the NT straight back into attack. Reid just looked and hoped, I think, that somebody would be there. That may cost in the end, because Mercury will no doubt create something with this. He goes right back to his teammate there in Danny Morgan, who fumbles. He'll get away with it. Offloads to Delaney. He kicks, punch from behind by Athanasia. Now the NT can create something. Stokes' ball was intercepted. Comes to Collard. He has a shot from 65. It's a goal! Oh, what a blinder! Oh!
Adrian Collard, first-year player in the Ntfl this year, and played some exceptional games for the North Darwin side. Started the game on the ground and probably didn't do much, but geez, he's come back on late in the third quarter, and he's certainly had an effect on the forward line so far in this quarter.
Well, the margin is down to 16 points. We're only just 6 minutes in, and Noel.
They started off like this in the third quarter, just a bit tentative and just fiddling around with the ball, not being positive with their handballs, and they're running out of defence.
So can the NT pull off something that not many people gave them a chance for in the three-quarter time break? West provides the drive out of the centre after the Viola handball. Collard runs under the ball. Can he pick it up and have a shot? He does. Will it go through? Yes. It has. It's Collard again.
Three goals in the space of 3 minutes, and Seager actually was a good goal, I thought. He was under a fair bit of pressure when he got this ball and was able to thread it through.
Oh, they got the ball out of the centre 3 times, the NT. Good ruck work.
Certainly the changes have had a bit of an effect. Andy Viola getting into the game and Toby Jackson winning the ball. Mark West coming up a half back line.
10 points to margin. Anything can happen from here in football. There's the ball picked up, the kick by Hardwick. Where will that go? It goes out towards Simons. Can he collect? The hand pass comes out towards the Essendon player. He's grabbed, and a good tackle and dispossessed. The pass comes out towards Christensen on one knee. He takes it, gets on with the job, puts it up towards Taylor. Can't mark. Waterhouse in there, tried to soccer. More commitment may be required from him. He goes in there still chasing the ball. The ball comes out through the agency of Delaney. He goes out wide. Matt is there. He has pace. So does Michael Simons. Simons has skill too, but it's an even contest as the ball goes out of bounds. Well, the pace has really picked up here, and the NT just getting a bit of confidence about their game. 8 minutes in. There's the tap, goes nowhere in particular. The kick towards the boundary line from Kilpatrick, finds it. And if the next goal went to the NT, I think you would find that the crowd would bring the roof off of this grandstand. Jackson got the thump. Waterhouse is there, has not much support. The hand pass comes over the top, but it was intercepted. And 2 running players for the NT disappointed by that, but good defence by Essendon. Boundary umpire brings it in. O'Connor went up, tapped by the NT. Turner just couldn't pick it up. Bursting through the pack there for Essendon was Delaney, and away go the Bombers. Over to that man McCurry. Oh, will he be tackled and caught with it? He got away with it. No, the free kick has been paid to McCurry. Viola hands him the ball. He goes out wide immediately where they have a pack of running players. Over the top is the Magician. Oh, caught with the ball twice. Will there be a turnover? The ball comes out towards Jackson. He leaves it from the hand pass. Comes out and away they can go here again, the Ntfl. Matt uses his pace. Kicks long from 65. Anybody home? No. Taylor soccers through for a point, and the margin is 9.
Robbie Matt, another one of the players that started the game. Didn't do much early in the game, but he's come back on at three-quarter time and had 4 or 5 possessions already, and going very well.
Stevenson kicked out wide and long and found his teammate. Plenty of time left in this game for a result either way. Kilpatrick. Kick is long. The runners at the back of the pack are Northern Territory players. Chisholm's made a muff of that. Russell Jeffrey gives him room. The ball comes out wide to Parfitt, who made space. Go long, they say. He's going to be in trouble here, Parfitt. He got away with it. Russell Jeffrey, his captain, backed him up. He goes for Viola, couldn't take the mark. In there is Collard. Brilliant skills again by Collard. Puts it up for Taylor and McAdam. McAdam, can he get the crumbs? He's up against Wanganeen. Will there be a free kick? He played for it. There was nothing there. The kick is high. Will Waterhouse fly? He does. Collard did too. Rioli, his kick is smothered. Taylor is there, intercepting is Michael Long. Gets away with a bounce. He'll probably want to take off too. He comes inboard towards his teammate in Hardwick. Hardwick lets go with a kick. He comes out wide towards Mercedes. Mercedes has support in Calthorpe. He puts it over there for him now, but it's over his head. That was maybe a little bit fancy. Turner, can he grab him? No, he can't. He comes back to Mercedes. His kick on the ground, right in front of his teammate. Kick it. The pressure seems to be on Essendon here until they find the loosener, and there it is. It has been taken by Mark McCurry.
Certainly making hard work of it, Essendon, but a few of their better players got hold of the ball then, Joey Mercedes and David Calthorpe.
Good vision by Kickett. McCurry from straight in front. There goes the kick. It looks a little bit near the post. In fact, it's the other side of the post. And a huge sigh of relief comes from the grandstand at Footy Park. They get on with the business straight away. The kick that came from West found Parfitt. West says, give it back to me here and I will go somewhere else. Short pass for Jeffrey. Oh, gee whiz, this is bad football, I think. Jeffrey's caught with it, got rid of it, then he tackled Hurd. The umpire comes in and says, I'll bounce. And good pressure applied by Essendon.
Yeah, very good pressure there.
Crowd starting to build a bit of a chant here. They'd like the NT to get another goal. Jackson, the tap went towards Stokes. His hand pass was pretty good towards Chisholm. Can he pick it up this time? He's been hesitant before. Backs himself a bit better now. Chisholm comes in board. His delivery is not bad. It's in fact found McAdam, who says, watch it, son. McAdam can kick the ball a mile. What will he do? They really should be making something for him in the open spaces. There he goes. He went for the long kick. It tumbles. It lands just in front of a few players, and it's picked up now by Michael Pryor. He gives it to Delaney, and they relieve. Mark taken by Hills. Hills comes in board. Bad bounce for Mercedes. And now Essendon a chance to really build something here through McCurry. McCurry, the vision was good. Was the mark taken? No, says the umpire. Play on. Ball just tapped out of the pack. Viola put his body over it, then just dragged it underneath himself. Holding the ball, says the umpire. And they have had Viola pinged maybe fairly or unfairly right from the word go. Djukovic ready to come on to the ground. We'll see here what Viola does. He's got it there, drags it underneath him, got rid of it. Still, in fact,
he was making the attempt to get rid of it, and I mean the rule does specifically state providing a player makes an attempt. I thought it was a legitimate attempt.
James Hurd lining up the shot for goal. The margin is 10 points in favour of Essendon. This would be a real reliever for them. There goes the kick. It's pretty close. It looks as though it might be okay. No, it's not. It's offline, and again the crowd breathes a sigh of relief. Morris is about to come on for the NT. Also coming on for Essendon is Manton. Coming off and limping is Michael Simons. Short pass to West. Back to Jeffrey. Jeffrey wants to launch a bit of a captain's attack from here. Michael Athanasia trying to take the front position. Will he provide support? He does. Rioli slipped over at the wrong time. Tackled by Christensen. Forces the hand pass to Michael Long. Long's hand pass pinpoint as usual to Hurd. Hurd sees a teammate there right on the ball, couldn't get there in time. Russell Jeffrey, he butters up. One step sideways, one step the other. Backs his judgment with the kick, and that was perfect. Chisholm, oh, there's four of them there. Will they get into trouble? Nearly. Parfitt runs away with the ball. Good support from his teammates. Waterhouse climbed all over him. The umpire says free kick. Still time for the NTFL to win this game. Waterhouse, that's a good kick he's put up. Chance for Collard. Can he get goal number 4? Oh, well, dearie me. Maybe he should have picked it up, but he's missed.
Very tentative again by Essendon backline players then. The hands weren't very good.
Margin 10 points. That would have made it, well, devilishly interesting to say the least. Essendon will relieve through the agency of Mercedes. He brings it inboard. Athanasia punches from behind. The mark has been paid though to Hurd. Been a good contest in the last few minutes between those two. Kick it. and Parfitt kick it, nearly did it. Willie Rioli, the hand pass, oh gee whiz, dangerous. That man Calthorpe, he has a shot for goal. How long and far will it go? Russell Jeffrey blinded the vision of his opponent and forces it out of bounds. And this is where it's dangerous for the NT, because Essendon love to pack it in around their goal line.
David Calthorpe missed a crucial handball to Glenn Manton, who was 15 metres clear directly in front of goal.
There's the throw in. And up they go. Possession still with Essendon. Ball goes out of bounds and will be thrown in again. They don't give possession away. 10 points the margin. 17 minutes in. The ruck. Pass from Hurd. Vision will come here from Michael Long. He lines up the shot for goal. Oh, West went up and didn't give away the free kick. He should have. Gee whiz, he's lucky to get out of that.
Yeah, that was a blatant free, wasn't it?
So that decision definitely favouring the NT. Viola's in there with his body again. So is Chisholm. Ball just pummeled out. West can't pick it up. And again, a ball up. And that's still stuck in that forward region.
Time's starting to run out for the NT. They've really got to get a quick forward move, work the ball down quickly.
A lot better in the last quarter. Could be a bit of fitness in it.
Up they go. No one able to get it. Oh, snap off the ground by Essendon.
Ryan O'Connor.
Ryan O'Connor has kicked the goal that may seal the game.
Well, that's what Ryan's for. He's a very bulky player, and he's got very good physical strength for a young fella. If he can improve his mobility a bit, he could be quite a good player.
Yeah, good effort.
He's actually taken the ball from the bounce down and put it straight through.
So a 16-point margin as the Essendon captain Michael Long moves himself back into the centre. He doesn't want to see victory taken away here. Taylor, worried, no doubt, knows that they would need three pretty impressive forward moves from here. Morris decides to try and provide that. He went up high. The umpire says he'll ball it up again. Big crowd of players around the ball. Morris goes up again with the high fly, just thrown out of the pack by Essendon. The left foot kick by West goes out wide. Here's a bit of a battle between Armat and his opponent there in Kilpatrick. And as that ball gone out of bounds on the full, no, says the boundary umpire, will be thrown in. Well, the crowd have been treated to a feast of football here today. Really been a great match. There's the tap out from Morris, comes down to Kilpatrick, kicks over his shoulder, and it's been marked by Masiti. Essendon just steadying down in these pressure minutes of the game. High kick. Chisholm just couldn't punch from behind. It's been marked by Hurd. He's had a good last quarter, Hurd. Looks up and sees the lead of his forward. Oh, Parfitt nearly marked that by accident. Russell Jeffrey just trying it, everything. Hills looks up and sees a teammate, and Nick Athanasia just says, there you go, cop that. But there's the sealer from Glenn Manton, and Essendon, I would say, are well and truly home.
Yes, it's been a real battle in the last quarter. Jimmy Hurd's taken a few crucial marks at centre-half forward after having a quiet first part of the game. And he's got on top and been leading up into the play and taking some good strong marks out in front of his body.
They sort of a few tired NT players conceding front position there a couple of times too, and allowing the Essendon forwards to get front position, and obviously very difficult for them to take the mark from behind.
It's been pretty hard work. Chisholm coming off, McLeod coming on. There's the bounce. Morris again with the big leap. Viola in there tackled. Can't get the possession yet. Just ducks his head, gets a hand pass out. It's towards Morris. He thumps it back towards Viola. By geez, it's tough in there. Turner went up high. Comes back to Turner. Out of his hands again. A chance for Masiti. Can he get the ball away? Good strong body work in there by all players. The free kick's gone to Essendon for in the back.
Yeah, it's good to see Michael Pryor getting his body in under the ball then.
Well, if you get your body underneath it and in it, you'll get the resulting free kicks in those situations. Hurd in there battling again. So is West. Back towards his captain, Russell Jeffrey. Jeffrey looks upfield to see what he's got. Waterhouse couldn't complete the mark. Ball comes back to Michael Long. He organises his half-back line there, and they relieve the pressure. Stokes just punched towards the boundary line. McLeod's in there, and over the line it goes as we enter the time-on period. Waterboys in attendance near the boundary line. Is here comes the throw in. Morris in a real battle there. Tackle again applied by Viola. He's done some hard work in this quarter. The umpire says I'll bounce. And the umpire said an infringement, and again it will go to Essendon for an infringement in the ruck. Ryan O'Connor, the man who kicked that goal that really turned it around for Essendon. There goes the kick right into their forward region. Russell Jeffrey puts it out wide. Kick from Stokes. But Adrian McAdam just caught behind there. Pryor. Again, more pressure on the NT defence. Kick it again, open goal, and another one to the Bombers.
I guess to a degree, a little bit of panic stations there from the NT. I think 3 or 4 players flying for the ball and leaving the Essendon Crummers on the ground, and it was a fairly easy goal.
Essendon set up a bit of a wall across the end, and Michael Pryor got himself in a good position, held the mark, and put in a very nice left foot kick to the advantage side of the pack. We had a couple of blokes on that side of the pack, and Dale Kickett's kicked a couple of goals now, I think.
Yes, one in the second, third and fourth quarters. Just really seemed to find his feet, particularly in the second half. There goes the bounce. Morris hasn't stopped trying all day in ruck. Comes to McAdam. Sure, tiny chip by him. It's gone out towards Robbie Armat. He's done all right today. He can hold his head high at the close of proceedings today. There's the kick. Brickma, a big fly. Chance now for that man Collard. Can he kick another one? No, he's done an Essendon, and he's found that spot 15 metres out. He's learned as he's gone today, I think. Rioli goes straight on with the job and kicks the goal. There's one to Willie Rioli.
That was excellent play, wasn't it? He actually kicked that with his right foot, I think.
I think he's done a couple of those today.
Yeah,
He's
bit of soccer stuff on the outside of his foot.
See it here, boom, over the corner.
quite effective, though.
So the margin, 4 or 5 minutes into time on. 22 points, and probably a pretty clear indication of how the game has gone today. Comes the bounce. Again, Morris tried hard. O'Connor was in there. McAdam chases. Kick it. The free kick has been paid to McAdam. Be interesting to see whether he'll go for one of those long bombs. He might as well at this late stage of the game. Really should just go for one of those huge torpedoes for which he is renowned. Looks as though that's the way he's shaping up. There it goes. Didn't really get onto it, but it's still gone pretty far. Mark has been taken by Waterhouse. And will he get straight on with the business? Well, there's the kick from Waterhouse. That's 3 for a goal. And makes the scoreline even more respectable for the Northern Territory. Well, the Australia Day medals for the match today, Calthorpe has picked it up for Essendon. And for the Northern Territory, in a mixture of cards, has gone to Brett Dukowicz. So the NTFL kicking their 14th goal there in the dying moments of the game. Beautiful conditions now here at Football Park, Marara. The margin just 16 points at the end. Eighteen extra kicks for Essendon, 20 more marks, just 2 more handballs. So it's been a good mixture of football. There's the bounce, up goes Morris. NT launches an attack through Stokes, but it just lands straight in the hands of the Essendon player. Kick it over the top. One-handed effort there by his teammate, and really just did it with ease, Mercury. Kicks out wide. Underneath the ball is Athanasia. The punch. Tackle applied by Stokes. Was the mark paid or not? I think it has been. And the big fella, Ryan O'Connor, he's had a pretty good game today, I tell you what. Very much perhaps a player that we'll see a lot more of. Big fly from behind by several NT players. Was that wise? Maybe someone should have stayed down. Fortunately, West does. He goes straight up the middle. Did he see anybody out of the side of his eyes? No one in particular. Collard applies a tackle. Throw, says the umpire, and the ball will come back for Collard. Gets straight on with it. Kicks it high and long. Hurd's down there, and I think he's taken that. Yes, he has. Crumbsdale came down to Rioli. Away they go. Hurd. We'll see the mark here as Essendon go back down the wing. Hurd right on in there. You see him there. Good mark to baby James Hurd. He's now back in the action, by the way. It's cocked one for 2 high. Had a huge number of possessions in this last quarter. Off to his teammate, and Essendon just going through the motions at the moment. They know they've got this match won. First time in 4 appearances in Darwin. It's been a pretty good effort by Kevin Sheedy, and his HAV team will travel. Free kick here to Essendon, I think. Scott Cummings.
Yeah, as I said a bit earlier, Russell Jeffries and Cummins had a fairly good battle. Probably honours about even. I would have thought. Cummins has kicked how many goals?
Has kicked 3.
3 goals. Russell's done some fairly good attacking work. He's played him reasonably close, although a couple of times he's got away, but more through the open forward line and the good disposal of the Essendon players. But Russell probably one of the better NT players for the day.
He's actually beaten Scott Cummings when the ball's hit the ground.
There's a kick from Cummings. It looks as though it might be through for a goal. And right on the siren, there is a goal. The final margin, 22 points.
Really was a pretty impressive standard of football. But Essendon, though, clearly the team of the 90s, and with strength and great depth, ran out worthy winners, 18-8-116 to the Territories 14-10-94. The stats are pretty even, though Essendon held the edge in the kicks, the marks and the frees. The Territory, though, won the hit-outs. Goal kickers, and for Essendon, Calthorpe and Cummings picked up 4, Collard kicked 4 for the Territory. The Australia Day medalist for the game from Essendon was David Calthorpe, that's no surprise, and for the Territory, Brad Jukowitz. Don't forget, for ABC viewers in the Northern Territory, on Monday we'll have live coverage of the American Super Bowl, the ultimate